Hi, everybody.
Hello.
It's the first Friday of the month, so we're here with Pinnie Club, and it's March, and we're going to make a really fun, cute St. Patrick's Day themed pincushion out of our Pinnie book. So here's our Pinnie book, Pin Pals by Carrie Nelson, and we're doing on page 24. It's called, I don't know, what's this one called? Triangles or something. Pink, well, it's called Pink Half Square Triangles because she did hers in pink and yellow, but ours is green, as you can see. And what's super cute is look in the background, little tiny hidden rainbows. So we have some kits here if you need to make this fun little cute pincushion. And Christine.
Show her on our back.
Oh, yes.
Back is what's really
back's
cute.
really cute.
Has
Lucky. Yep.
It
Yes, the back is just as fun as the front. Yes,
it's super
but
fun.
the front is where all the work happens. So Christine is going to give us some really amazing tips for making this cute little Pinnie.
Yeah, this one isn't really hard. It looks like it is, but it honestly is not. So this is what you're going to start off with is your squares. So you're going to have a background and a solid green. And you're going to...
Yeah, how big are the squares?
They're like 1.5, I think. Okay, 1 5/8.
1 5/8.
Yeah, 1 5/8. So they're pretty big to work with. You know, they're pretty nice. No, serious.
It's all relative.
Yes.
I mean, it's bigger than half an inch, right?
And then it's going to go down to a really small one. So you're going to mark your line from corner to corner, and you're going to sew on each side of that. So here is where I've marked my line, and you can't really see. I should have done it in a darker thread.
Maybe you can see it on the black. The
thread is on each side. So we have a seam.
A 1/4 inch.
Yeah, 1/4 inch seam on each side. And you're going to cut on this line, and then you will have your half square triangles. And you're going to get 2 out of it. So it's going to go pretty fast, really. So you have 1 on each side of it. And then after you have that, you're going to want to cut those little half square triangles down. And here's your half square triangle. The best thing is the block lock rulers, because it has like a little groove in here that will hook onto your seam, and it will give you that perfect 1 1/4 square that we're going to be working with.
So is that over there?
Yes, they're very nice. We have a lot of those. So
We do.
we
have a couple.
few,
I think we only have 2.
Well, there's one here.
You could use
I think there's
just your regular.
Anyway, you can use any ruler.
Yeah.
You just want to line up, that most small squaring up rulers have a 45-degree angle going through, so you just want to line that diagonal up. This is a little, bigger than the 1 1/4 inch, so I think you told us last time about sliding it.
Yeah, so when you first use a block lock, this is going to be kind of hard to, let me get it on here first.
Here, I can put it down if you want to put it flat.
Okay, so here's your half square triangle.
Brought one of ours that I
And
remember.
where it has block lock, that will be the first time you use it. So your seam has to be going that way. And you want to just set this right on top, and what it's going to do is it's going to lock right into that seam line. And you can move it, and then when you want to square up the other side, you would just turn it and pull back and get to where whatever amount you need, which is I think a 1 1/4.
So yeah, the first trim when you're this way, your first trim. How did you have it this way?
It has to.
Your first trim, you want it to be a little bit bigger than the 1 1/4 inch. So you're really just squaring it up a bit and taking off a teeny tiny little bit. Okay. Then when you do the rotating and sliding, I made it slide off. Then this is where you're going to want to make sure you're up 1 1/4 inch on both sides, and that will give you
the Tucker trimmer.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
exactly. And Tucker trimmer would work fine for this too. Yeah. The thing we like about the block lock is how it locks on that seam.
And they are amazing.
Yeah. This is a 2.5 inch size. I have a 2.5, I think I have a 4.5 inch over there, but you can see you can do anything up to that size.
Yeah, so the bigger one would work.
So the bigger one would work as well. Yeah. And it'd be more versatile for for bigger blocks too. I use my block locks a lot. So, okay.
Okay.
Clear as mud, right?
Mud. Mine has rocks and pebbles.
Oh, and then
dead
real quick,
bugs.
can I show this one too?
Yes.
This one has the paper on it, but this is my other favorite tool for doing these half square triangles, the magic wand, because you go poof. Just kidding. It's not that easy.
We wished.
Where's your one that you, okay, so another way that you can mark the lines for your any size half square triangle is this ruler. Once you take the paper off, you can see, you might be able to see a little bit now, but there's a little line down the center. So you line that up, that little line up and down in your corners. Then you draw your lines on both sides, and then those are the lines you actually stitch on. And I generally will stitch just inside of the line instead of right on the line, just so I have a little bit more to trim off. So just a little bit more towards the center, just a stitch, just right inside of the line that I drew. Because you can see when you put that on there and you draw it, that your pencil line's actually, you know, to the side of where you really want to stitch. So, okay, magic wand.
Okay.
And poof, you're done. We only could wish. That's what St. Patrick's Day is all about.
Oh, sure.
Okay, you're going to have your setting squares that you're going to have to cut, and you're cutting those in half.
These are the ones that go all around the
So,
outside edge.
Yes, these are the ones here. There's a different cut for the every corner, and then there's a different cut for the actual setting of them. But you're going to work on a diagonal when you sew. So you're going to, in the book, there's a little diagram, this one right here. You just need to kind of follow that same diagram, and you can tell, you know, like where your blocks need to be and how many, and then you're just going to line them up. So all I did was do it exactly like the little diagonal or the diagram shows you. And then when you sew it together, I always sew from the corner to the corner instead of trying to, you know, add that extra in there. You don't need it.
So you just start where they actually line up
Yes.
flat instead of
Yes.
trying to figure out where that overlap corner
Yes.
goes. Yeah.
And then once you just get them all together, I sewed this section, and then I have another section that I sewed, and then sewed them together, and it makes it a little easier to work with. And of course, make sure that your seams are going the different directions so that you don't have a lot of bulk.
Mm.
You know,
So
just-
what she mean, like once you sew this row, press all the seams that way. When you sew this row, press all your seams that way. Then they'll nest in together nicely. So this is basically like when you make a quilt and you make it on point. We're basically sewing this little tiny quilt together on point.
Yes.
And look at this great little board that Christine made
Oh,
too,
my little lint.
with all your lint
little
and
threads.
extra threads. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a little piece of foam board with a piece of batting kind of glued onto the top of it. And then she just made it cute with a little binding around the edges. But the nice thing about that is see how you're able to lay out to make sure, because you're going to have 2 of every piece. I think we gave you
yes.
enough.
And so you can do different
this one
ones.
there's 4. Maybe some of them there's
there was
more.
2 that were duplicated.
Oh, there's a couple that are duplicated,
Yeah.
but for the most part, they're all different. So you want to make sure, you know, you don't have your 2 next to each other. So you want to lay them all out before you start sewing all your little rows together.
And just make sure they're, you know, go in the right direction, all that kind of good stuff.
Mhm,
But
like,
again,
yeah, see how all
you know,
the
kind of follow your
all the
diagram.
points go up. Like you don't want to get one turned that way. Although,
Unless you want to.
I was going to say the fun thing about these is you can do different, you know, play with different layouts, flip them around, see what you come up with.
Yeah.
I mean, half square triangles are so incredibly versatile in the kind of designs you could make. I mean, you could totally make like 4 little stars around there or something. I mean, you don't have to do it exactly like the pattern says. Make it your own.
Would you go back to this area? You don't end up doing white seams, or not white
No,
seams.
because when you sew it together, you're just going to line it up, just like you do normally with a quilt block. You're just going to line your seams up because they're just going to be rows.
Yeah, see? This
And then
is
this'll
a
be-
row.
This will
This
be
is
on
a
there.
row, and this is at the end of your row.
Yeah. So when you're sewing this, you're going to have these little ears. So you'll have these right here that you're going to cut off.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't.
Yeah, this gets sewn to this.
And you
this
can
one gets
actually
sewn to this.
see how when you're sewing it together, you're going to have a little bit of overage. You can cut that beforehand, before you sew the row together. So then it's just a straight row.
Okay.
I mean, that's fine. That
I
won't
was
hurt it.
putting extra little seams in there.
No.
no
Nope,
white
they're
seams.
just rows.
Nope. Yeah.
They're just
Very,
rows.
very
Run.
simple. Yeah. No. It's very simple.
Yeah, and
It's
nobody
not-
likes Y seams. Ooh, why? That's what I say. Why? Why do a Y seam? No, don't do a Y seam.
No, it's none of that. And then once you get it, the two pieces together, then you can go back and put your corners on. It'd be, it's just, I mean, you could do it right here after you sew these three. You could put this on, or you can wait till you get it all done and then just add all four corners. So.
Yeah, because that size, those corner ones are a little bit different than these sizes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and definitely don't get them mixed up because they are smaller.
Your corner ones are
yes.
smaller than your
Mhm.
setting ones.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
see. So they're not much, but they are.
Wow.
So just make sure you're using the right ones in the right spots.
Yeah, so this one and our past ones that we've done, we always sewed a little white border or a little background border all the way around because you see how that kind of goes over. But on this one, those setting triangles are actually your part that kind of folds around. So you really don't see them that much once you get it all filled. You really just see all the little half square triangles. It's really cute.
We hope all the little rainbows bring you lots of love.
Yeah.
And
So
pots of
then-
gold.
Yeah, pots
Yes.
of gold. Yes, I think there is one. No. So anyway, you can then after you get your whole top put together, you can see Christine's did some cute little quilting on it.
Yeah, you want to again quilt
there's-
the back and the front.
Yeah,
separately.
there's little batting pieces in your kit. So you want to quilt. You want to just do some light quilting of your top just straight onto your batting. And then on the back as well, you want to add a little piece of batting and do some stitching on the back to kind of hold that together. And then put right sides together, leave a little opening.
And again, since you're working with white, remember the little press and seal that we talked about, putting that on your opening so that you don't get the
Just walnut shell fuzz.
yes
Dust. Film. Yeah.
so that
On your
will be
outside.
a lot.
What is that?
So a press and seal that you use in the kitchen,
Or just
for,
some kind of
like,
saran. Like
oh,
just,
like a saran wrap.
Saran
but
wrap.
a
Yeah,
press
just to
and
kind
seal
of
has a
cover
sticky
the
on it.
opening a little bit as you're pouring in your walnut shells.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't get that.
Yeah, if you just cover the opening a little bit and then pour that in, and then you can kind of pull it out. But it does help. It helps keep it, unless you're really, really careful. But because the background is white on this one, sometimes you'll get a little bit of that brown film from the walnut shells. So it's always better, but it turned out really cute.
I know,
It
it's
is cute.
so fun.
And it's a fun one for this month.
Yep. Yeah.
So
Do you guys have any other questions or?
Which one are you doing next?
That is yet to be determined.
Yes.
We have not decided. Oh, it'll probably be something springy,
yeah.
Eastery. Who knows?
Easter.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't believe it's.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Good.
What's
All right.
happened to this year?
Well, I hope you enjoyed our little pincushion demo, and we'll see you next month.
Happy March.
Bye.
Mhm.